best friends for like 5 years now, and we've told each other everything. But since we never went swimming together, this just never came up, which was quite convenient, and it made it easy for me to keep this from you. But because you are my best friend, there's something about me that you should know. I have never told this to anyone before, so you have to promise to not tell anyone. Well, if you tell anyone, they'll just think you're crazy anyways. And you have to promise to not freak out. Okay. Here goes. I'm a mermaid. You've probably been wondering why I keep wearing this bracelet all the time. This is a magical bracelet that keeps me in human form, whether I am wet or dry. Which is why I have to keep wearing this all the time, especially when swimming in public, showering, and washing my hands. Just so a single trace of water will not turn me into a mermaid. I get that this is shocking, but let me explain. So, how I turn into a mermaid? Well, when I was little, me and my family would go to my grandma's cottage during the summers. So one time when I was 3, while we were at the cottage, I wandered off to the beach by myself without anyone noticing. It was such a beautiful day. The sky was a very bright blue, and the sun was shining very brightly on my face. I stepped into the water, and all of a sudden, I was struck by a rainbow. It just came at me out of nowhere. It was the most beautiful rainbow I've ever seen in my entire life. It was shimmery and it had a very strong glow. I know you're probably thinking, how is it possible for me to be struck by a rainbow? Well, I was. And it didn't hurt. It felt like a whoosh of air and water washing over me at the same time. Just like a waterfall. It felt like I was being washed clean from every worry and sadness. It felt so refreshing. I can never forget that feeling. And the next thing I knew, I had a tail. And I can finally breathe underwater. Oh, and I can swim too, of course. Before I turned into a mermaid, I did not know how to swim at all. Apparently, at the time that happened, the sun was perfectly behind the rainbow. And the rays of the sun mixed with the rainbow made a very powerful and magical force in the waters, which is how I turned into a mermaid. For me to go back into human form, all I have to do is dry myself completely, or I could just put on the bracelet. As you know, I am very different from regular humans, and I'll explain why. Being a mermaid is why I cannot be vaccinated. Vaccines are not safe for mermaids. They are meant to kill off the entire remaining mermaid population, which is why they put mercury in them. But don't worry, mermaids have very strong immune systems. We are immune to every virus and disease on this earth, even the coronavirus. I also cannot take any psychiatric meds either. They are also harmful to mermaids, and they drain our powers. This also explains why I am allergic to everything. So fruits and vegetables are the only land foods that I am able to eat. I can also only eat organic foods as well, because the pesticides sprayed on the crops not only kill bugs, they're also harmful to mermaids. I also have to stay away from cats, dogs, and other land animals. Not only because I'm allergic to them, they tend to bite me because they mistake me for fish, even when I appear in human form. Oh, and my tail? If I had to choose the color of my tail, it would obviously be pink. Honestly, there could be many reasons why my mermaid tail is the colors of the rainbow. Like 1, I was struck by a rainbow, which is how I became a mermaid in the first place. 2, I was wearing rainbow shorts and a colorful fish top the day I became a mermaid. So it could be that my mermaid tail is just reflecting the colors of the outfit I wore that day. And there are other possible reasons, but that's a whole other story. On the bright side of being a mermaid, I can just swim to Ireland, which means I can visit you often in the next 4 years when you go off to med school there. And that is no trouble for mermaids. We can speed swim faster than any car or motorcycle. In fact, I swim to the Philippines all the time. Oh, and speaking of which, this also explains why I can spend hours and hours and hours in the water. I am the last person to get out of the swimming pool each time. The water is like my home. So if we ever go swimming together, good luck getting me out of the water. So, now you know my big secret. Want to go for a swim? We can have a water ball fight.